Good morning to all of you. I think all of you are in your good health and now come back to our studies. And as you know, we are meeting after a weekend off. And let us first do a recap. This is my habit that before starting my lecture, I used to do recap what we have studied so far. You see, in our first class, we discussed about the syllabus, and the syllabus of your Indian society is very clearly, categorically mentioned in your GS paper 1, which makes our job easier to do the things in a proper way. Apart from this, we have discussed important terminologies which you should know about it and which you are going to use in your answer writing, such as what is the concept of multiculturalism, how multiculturalism is different from pluralism, the idea of cultural intersection, right? Then we move on to the topic that is salient features of Indian society. Under salient features of Indian society, we have discussed various features such as linguistic diversity, and today I want to discuss with you the religious diversity, but in a much more greater detail, so that you can develop a comprehensive understanding about the religious diversity in India, because this term is a very big term, and therefore you need to understand that religious diversity is not just confined to, let me write it down here. Now the topic which I want to, yeah, yes, that is religious diversity, because nowadays religion is in the fashion, right? Religion has become a more, is in the fashion, it is in the news. Therefore, anything which is in the news, it becomes important from our examination point of view, and it also becomes important for us to understand the meaning of that topic in in larger depth, so that there is a probability that UPSC may ask you a question on that, right? Therefore, you see, religious diversity in a simple terms, people think that there are Hindus, there are Muslims, there are Christians, there are Sikhs, there are Buddhists, there are Jains, there are Parsis, right? I am writing by, H stands for Hindu, B for Buddhist, M for Muslim, C for Christians, J for Jains, P for Parsis, S for Sikhs. This is the normal understanding that we are having about, you can say, religious diversity in India. But today, I want to discuss this, that religious diversity is not just confined only to the broader classification among these major represents of religions in India, but there is a religious diversity among Hindus also. There is a religious diversity among Muslims also. There is religious diversity among Sikhs also. So it is not just religious diversity in India, it's confined to the broader classifications among the religions, right? First, I want you to write it down. You see, India is a land of multiple religions. India is a land of multiple religions, and Hinduism is the dominant religion of India. Hinduism is the dominant religion of India. Dominant religion of India, right? You see, apart from this, there is a presence of Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, and Jainism also. Now, let us understand. I think all of you have written this. Now, let us understand the kind of diversity that Hindu religion is having in itself here. The kind of diversity in Hinduism, right? Can anybody tell me why I am discussing this topic in detail? Any specific reason that you can tell me? Anyone? Because I believe all of you are studying, all of you are, taking note of all the current affairs development that are taking place around you, and that is what is expected from you, that you should know all these things, and based on that, you need to make your notes on which particular topic you have to give importance and which topic you have to give less importance and which topic you can leave it. Can anyone give me an answer? What is the reason that Ashwini Shankar sir is taking up this topic in much more uh, depth? Why? I'm waiting for a reply, guys. I hope. Let me see who is the person who can give me the right answer. I'm waiting for a reply. When I get your reply, only then I'll start. Quickly. Why? It is taking time actually. One of the people debate, or we can say because of their religion, like Manipur. Uh, okay, yeah, that is very good example that you are able to connect Manipur. The very good, shabash. One thing, one more point I want to listen from you, and then I will tell you a very important thing. It's perfectly all right, but I want to have one more value addition from your side. Anirban is coming out. Hindu society is divided into caste and untouchability is prevailing among them. Okay, okay, that's also a good idea. I think there are so many students and I'm getting response only for Anirban or from Subrata. What is this, yaar? I think I will get immediately, I will get bombarded with so many answers that it becomes difficult for me to just see what is happening. Quickly, I think Subrata has touched the right note. One was violence in the name of religion is bothering the peace. Okay, fine. That is a very generalistic answer. Dekho, you need to understand one. Now, let me tell you. From your examination point of view, okay, Bishwajit is talking about the violence that took place in Haryana. That is also right. Remember, write it down. Whenever Prime Minister is making any statement or whenever Prime Minister is making any speech, it is your obligation to listen to it. If your Prime Minister, your Finance Minister, your Governor of RBI, right, your Minister of External Affairs, if any one out of them is making a speech or they are mentioning any term, it becomes important for you to include that term in your notes. And this speech is on the radar of UPSC and you can easily get a question directly from it in your mains examination. There are two reasons that why I'm going in depth. Point number one, as Subrata rightly said, Manipur violence. Manipur violence. Point number two, as Anirban also rightly said that Haryana violence took place. Point number third, one more point which is very important from me, from my students, that my students should know about it, that recently Bharatiya Janata Party, the ruling government at the center, has started taking initiatives to woo Pasmanda Muslims. Pasmanda Muslims. No need to write it down. I will tell you about them when will I come to it. Just understand. Pasmanda Muslims. This word was in the news. This particular word was in the news, Pasmanda Muslims. That Prime Minister has also mentioned about Pasmanda Muslims in his speech. Therefore, this is the current going on. Therefore, and that is how you need to build up your preparation strategy. That is why I often say that these examination consist of two things. First is your class notes, your study material. Second, your NCRTs and your newspaper. That's it. If you are studying anything outside this, you are doing a criminal waste of your time. Criminal waste of your time. It is very important. And that is why we often say that you need to hear the news in a very objective manner. This word was in the news recently, and you can check it out the Hindu or Indian Express. They have a full article on that. So when I was reviewing that what we have started, I thought that I should give a lecture on this particular thing, religious diversity, because normally whenever we talk of religious diversity, we talk of religious diversity only in the case of Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, and that's it. That is a religious diversity. But there is a religious diversity among the religions also. With that, we forget. We don't discuss that point. And from here, I can assure you in 2023 mains examination, in 2024 mains examination, UPSC going to ask question from this particular religious diversity inside the religion. Do you agree with me, guys? Tell me quickly. Okay, fine, Subrata. I'll try to do this. That whenever okay, let us figure out a solution of this dictation issue. What I will do first, I dictate you. You write it down properly and give me the reply, sir. We have written. Once you have written it, then I will explain the concept. Is it okay, Subrata? Or any other doubt? Because we need to figure out the amicable solution. Because right now you guys are not sitting in front of me, so I'm not aware. Uh, and secondly, you are also not aware about my speed. I think that will figure. First, I will dictate because class notes are the most important thing. First, I dictate, you write it down, and then we will discuss that in detail so that you can have a comprehensive understanding. And I think this will figure it out, right? Okay, write 2 lines quickly. The Hindus are broadly classified into the Hindus are broadly classified into Shaivites, write it down, Shaivite, Shaiviate, Shaivites. Who are Shaivites? Shaivites are those people who are the worshippers of Lord Shiva. They are the worshippers of Lord Shiva. Today is Monday. Monday is usually associated with the day, Monday is usually associated with Bhagwan Shiv Shankar, Lord Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, right? Okay, done. Now the second is Vaishnava. Second is, where I write it down? I write it down here. Second is Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas are the worshippers of Lord Vishnu. Vaishnavas are the worshippers of the Lord Vishnu. Right? Is it clear? All my students? Hindus are broadly classified into two groups, Shaivites and Vaishnavas. Shaivites are the worshipper of Lord Shiva and Vaishnavas are the worshipper of Lord Vishnu. Apart from this, there is another category, that is third category. I just rub it here. Shaivites, and then you have Vaishnavas, and third is Shaktas. Third is Shaktas. Who are Shaktas? Who are the worshipper of Shaktas? They are the worshipper of Mother Goddess. They are the worshippers of Mother Goddess in various forms. In various forms. For example, if you come to Delhi, we talk about Shiravali Mata. If you go to Jammu, Vaishnavali Mata. If you go to Himachal, Jwala Mata. If you come to West Bengal, Kolkata, as my lovely students are watching me, Ma Kali, Kali Mata, right? If you come to Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, right? Himachal Pradesh, and this here you will figure it out that the majority of the people worship Vaishno Mata, Jawala Mata, like this. If you go to Kolkata side, so you worship Kali Mata. These all are all the different manifestations, forms of Mother Goddess. Okay. Now, one of the student is asking a question, sir, but what is the difference between society and social justice? Lovely question. Let me answer it. You see, at present, what we are doing? At present, we are discussing society. What is which society we are talking about? We are talking about Indian society. We are not discussing Latin American society. We are not discussing African society. Our objective is to understand the nuances of Indian society. And what is a society? Society is a group of people, association of people having a shared culture, common language, belonging to one geographical area, which you have written. Now, what is social justice? Okay, I'll take care of it, Vishwajit. Vishwajit is saying, please dictate twice a line when you dictate. Okay, okay, fine. I'll do that, yeah. Now, what is social justice? Social justice, let me first ask you, in your paper, that is your polity paper, you have to study constitution. What is a constitution? Constitution is a document which clearly mentions what is the role of chief minister, what is the role of prime minister, how council of ministers needs to be constituted and all that. Right? It is a fundamental law. Then you are supposed to study polity. What is polity? Polity gives you a theoretical framework how a country is run. Right? Then all these things are implemented by government. What is the government? The executive. What is the responsibility of government? The responsibility of government is to provide good governance. What is good governance? Good governance implies the implementation, formulation, implementation, evaluation of the decisions taken by the executive for the welfare of its people. That is called good governance. And why we are doing all these things? We are doing all, what is the objective of doing all these things? To provide social justice. To provide social justice. That is the application of your polity, your constitutional ideals. That is social justice. What is social justice? When we are creating equality in society, where society is treated on the basis of rule of law, where there is a presence of equality, not equality not only in one dimension but in all the dimensions, whether it is political, economical or social development or social, right? That is the reason that in your GS paper 1 they have mentioned about society. See the beauty of UPSC, how they are interlinking and how beautifully they have crafted the syllabus for you. In your GS paper 1, they are introducing you to the concept of geography. Why they have given first geography? Why not any other subject? Because geography plays a very important role. If you really want to understand India, why our dresses are different, why our food are different, why in Calcutta you cannot live without fish. Fish is a part and parcel of your life. Correct me if I am wrong, Vishwajit. Tell me. Right? Fish, people are are depending on fish. Fish is one of the major component of their diet, right? But the moment you are coming to Delhi, you will see that people are not eating fish. Here, eating mutton is considered a very, important thing. People are mad about chicken, right? If you go to Punjab, people are more prone to eating chicken, right? Why this difference in the food habits? Why this difference in the way we dress? All these things are determined by our geography. Our entire more than 65% of India's population lives in rural India, right or wrong? They are directly or indirectly dependent upon agriculture or allied activities related to agriculture. Therefore, our entire agriculture is based on monsoon. That is the reason it becomes imperative for you to have a in-depth good knowledge of geography and especially to Indian geography. Right? Clear? That is the reason they have given you after geography, they have given you Indian society because your culture is directly proportional to geography. That is the see the beauty of connectedness. Your culture is directly proportional to geography. If you don't understand the geography of your country, you are not in a position to develop a comprehensive, objective understanding of your culture. Our food, the way we think, our complexion of our skin, everything is determined by our geography. And our geography influences our lives on everyday basis. That is the point. Therefore, they have clubbed these two important subjects, geography, culture and then society. And in culture, what they are talking about? They are talking about art, architecture. Let me ask you a question. Let me see, that is how you have asked a very good question. I want to ask you, everybody say that India was a gold sparrow. Bharat सोने की चिड़िया था. Everybody is saying Bharat सोने की चिड़िया था. I've also heard this from my grandmother when my grandmother used to tell me a story. India was a gold sparrow. I read it in my books also. But when I grow up, how I can say that India is a gold sparrow? Because you see, we are coming from a land. India is the land where Buddha lived. Buddha was born here. And what Buddha said, what is the entire crux of Buddha's learning? Now I am bringing, now you can connect ethics with this. You can use this information in your ethics paper. What is the biggest contribution of Buddha to the world? Number one, Dhyan, meditation. He taught meditation to the world, to this entire human civilization. He was the first man who talked about meditation. He was the first man that you cannot find God anywhere, either in temple or in mosque or in churches. Nowhere you can find God. You can find God only when you go deep inside you. He was the only man who said this. That too in the 6th century. Second, he said, never trust anybody. That is the second epitome, sensational statement made by Lord Buddha. Never trust anybody. Verify it. And third, be your own light. Apo Deepo Bhava. Be your own light. It is only you. It is only your actions, and your actions are nothing. When there is a saying, when you do anything repeatedly, that becomes your habit, right? So your actions are nothing. It is a product of your habits. Your habits are nothing. It is a product of your thought. So therefore, he said, change your thoughts, and your life will change. That is the biggest message of Lord Buddha to the mankind, right? And you are coming from a country where Buddha born. Therefore, it becomes important for you to be rational, because it is the only man who talks about rationality, right? Now, don't believe that if I am saying something to Ashwini sir has said, we will no, verify it actually. Verify on the basis of your logic. Why India was a golden sparrow? Please you answer me. You all are preparing for your exam. Now, this thing can be asked in your interview also. They may ask you, okay, tell me, Nimai, why India was considered as a golden sparrow? We are seeing a widespread poverty in India. You see your Calcutta, just taking a 2-kilometer walk, you will find a slum, and you are talking about India as a gold sparrow. How you can say? What are the evidences you are having that which proves this line of thought, this line of statement that India was a golden sparrow? Tell me quickly, I'm waiting for your answer. Let me see how you respond to my question. Tell me quickly. Why India is considered as a golden sparrow? On what evidences can you say this statement? I am waiting, quickly reply. I am getting reply only from one or two students. Only Subrata is talking to me, Bishwajit, and there is a one girl, I don't, Nimai, Krishna. Where are the other boys and girls? Are they not present in the class? Or I am talking only to 4 students, yeah? I think this is not fair. I don't think so. I look like a monster that you are so afraid of me, or that you don't like my way of pedagogy. I think you all come forward. Why India is considered as a golden sparrow? This is my question. Why? Because you have raised this question becomes my important. Why India is considered as golden सोने की चिड़िया. Tell me, then we will move forward. Still, I am not getting answer, buddy. I am not getting answer from my students. What is this? Or there is a technical glitch that it takes time for getting your responses. Okay, let me explain you how we can say India was a gold sparrow. What are the evidences we are having? Just look around yourself. Just look at. You are coming from the place called West Bengal, right? West Bengal. You tell me where Battle of Plassey was fought. The first battle, the decisive battle which changed the course of India. That is 1757. Where is that place? Plassey. कहाँ पर है ये? Where is Plassey? Plassey is located in a place called Murshidabad. Murshidabad. And Murshidabad was the capital of Bengal province during Mughal period. Just imagine. Now, you see, just look around yourself. Bengal was a place which has given a finest quality of silk, which you can take out from the ring of your finger. The entire sari can be taken out. That is the quality of our handicraft. We have developed a muslin kind of quality of silk. Malmal, right? Look at the costliest tea in the world is coming from your Darjeeling, right? Just see India. Look at the Taj Mahal, the seventh wonder. It reflects the kind of money our emperors were having. Come to Jaipur. Look at the Amer Fort, massive fort. Look at Umaid Bhavan Palace in Jodhpur. You will go mad if you look at the magnanimity of that palace. Look at the history, ancient history of Hampi dynasty. The travelers explain that Hampi dynasty were having roads made of gold. Gold, everybody in India, gold is a part of our culture. A country where gold is a part of our culture, how can you say that country is a poor country? Your forts, that is the reason UPSC has categorically mentioned in your GS paper 1, art, architecture. Why architecture they have mentioned? Look at the Ajanta and Ellora. Ajanta and Ellora, it will literally create a storm in your mind how they can build such a magnificent temple. That entire mountain was cut. And at that time, we were not having any advanced technology of stone cutting or any advanced technology of doing mining or transportation of such kind of huge mammoth stones. And they have done it. Look at Ajanta and Ellora. You go mad. Look at the temples of Khajuraho. You go mad. That is the magnificence of India, which tells India was a country where there was an abundance of wealth. That is, and why it was? Because you need to understand. Let us say this is India, right? If I want to do a trade from west to east, I have to come to India. If I want to do a trade from east to west, India is in the middle, right? And who discovered monsoon winds? Now I'm teaching a little bit of geography. Who discovered monsoon winds? Hippos. The moment Hippos discovered the monsoon winds, the volume of trade from west to east and from east to west increased exponentially. And India was in between, right? Apart from this, India became a center point of the trade from west to east, east to west. Therefore, all the travelers with the monsoon winds, they used to travel towards India and towards further east, and with the retreating monsoon winds, they come back to their respective countries. And today, where is the majority of capital is involved in doing trading? What is trading is this only, right? And that is the reason India was prosperous country in the world, because entire trade is taking place from your country, entire trade of the majority of the trade of the world. And that is the reason you are seeing that our emperors, our kings were having amazing wealth. That is the reason everybody wants to come to India. Therefore, Vasco da Gama came and he discovered the first sea route towards India. That is the reason we call India as a golden sparrow. And that is, now you can better understand. There is a connectivity. How they are given the syllabus. GS paper 1 is geography. Then your art, architecture. That is a part of your culture, right? And then you have a topic called Indian society. That is your GS paper 1. This is called connectivity, and this connectivity you need to build so that you can write a comprehensive original answer which will make you stand in the list of top 10 of India. This connectivity, this interlinkage. Now come to your GS paper 2. In GS paper 2, they are asking you to study constitution. They want you to have a thorough understanding of polity. Which polity? Indian polity. Then you should know all about government. You should know about the ideals of good governance. And then you need to develop the idea of social justice, which is missing in India. And then there is a one more topic, international relations. This is a line of thought. I guess who asked this question to me? I guess now this is clear to you. Yeah, why yours is not coming? You're sponsored by this. Is it clear? Right? Clear? right? So this is why, because what is the ultimate why constitution is written? To safeguard the interest of ordinary people. That is the reason. Now coming to our topic, write it down. Now I think this is clear. Now let's come to our topic. I think I have given enough explanation to the question raised by one of the student. What is the difference between society and social justice? Now coming to our topic, write it down. So far we have discussed in Hinduism. One is your Shaivites, second is your Vaishnavas, then third is your Shaktas. There is one more group of people, one more group which you should know. What is that? Anyone? That is, write it down. Samartha. Samartha. The fourth group is Samartha. Samartha. Write it down. Samarthas are those people who worship all these three, Shiva, Vishnu and Mother Goddess. This is the fourth category. 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is the fourth category. Right? Apart from this, there are sects in Hinduism. This is a one broader classification. There are sects in Hinduism. What are the important sects? Write it down. Kabir Panthi. Sects such as Kabir Panthi. Write it down. Satnami. And recently during Karnataka elections, there was a very important sect which played a very important role in the electoral politics of Karnataka, and this particular word was in the news, which you should know. That is Lingayats. Lingayats. Write it down. Lingayats. And another group, Vokaligas. Vokaligas. Am I right or wrong? These words are in the news or not? Then you have Arya Samaj. And then you have Brahmo Samaj. They have presence in Calcutta. Brahmo Samaj. Is it visible to all of you? Brahmo Samaj, write it down. Then you have, there is a one more important, very big organization across the world, especially among sects, that is Radha Swami. Radha Swami. Write it down. And there is one more very important sect in Gujarat, that is Swami Narayan. Have you heard about this? Are you aware of that Akshardham temple in Delhi? Yeah, very good. Akshardham temple in Delhi. Akshardham temple in Delhi is one of the very beautiful temples. If you come to Delhi, please visit it. And this temple is dedicated to Swami Narayan. Swami Narayan is a very big. You will find a lot of followers in millions of Swami Narayan, especially in Gujarat. And if you are able to recall, in Gujarat also there is a presence of Akshardham. This Akshardham temple was attacked a long time back by terrorists. Therefore, you should know they are the followers of Swami Narayan, right? So these are the different sects present in Hindu society: Kabir Panthis, Lingayats, Vokaligas, Satnami, Arya Samaj, Brahmo Samaj, Swami Narayani, Radha Swami, and so on. Right? Okay. Now move on to the next one. Now there are certain cults also. May I rub this? All of you have written. All of you have written? No, this is a border. Religion is Hinduism. There are four dimensions, four subdivision: Shivites, Vaishnavas, Shaktas, and Samartha. Then there are presence of sects: Kabir Panthi, Satnami, Lingayats, Arya Samaj, Brahmo Samaj, Swami Narayan, Radha Swami, and so on. And then there is a presence of cults also. May I rub this? Now see, there is a presence of cults also. Now what cults? Write it down. For example, because nowadays after the abrogation of Article 370, Kashmir is in the news. So I need to mention Kashmir Shaivism. Kashmir Shaivism. This is a kind of cult. Aghor Panthi. Aghor Panthi. Aghor Panthi. That is, you must be knowing that Naga Sadhus, hai na? They are basically Naga Sadhus. Aghor Panthi, Kashmir Shaivism, right? And there are a lot of other schools, like Bihar School of, and there are a lot of other schools here, right? So there are presence of so many cults in India, right? No, it is a cult actually. This Kashmir Shaivism is a part of cult. It is not a sect because very less followers. Okay. Now I think you have developed enough understanding that Hinduism is not a uniform religion. There is lot of diversity among Hinduism also. Therefore, we need to have a look on that. That is the reason I thought that I should go deeper into this religious diversity. Now coming to Muslims here. Sorry. Now coming to Indian Muslims here. Now Indian Muslims are broadly classified in two categories. One is called Sunni and second is called Shia. Write it down. Indian Muslims are divided into two, Sunni and Shia. This is a smaller, Shia are having less population, they are having smaller community, and Sunnis are large in population. Sunnis are large in population, right? Write it down. Now I give you an example. Just now this Muharram has passed, just now, right? So Muharrams, in which there is a famous slogan, Ya Hussain Hum Na Rahe, Ya Hussain Hum Na Rahe, right? Muharram is one of the biggest festivals of Shia Muslims. They celebrate Muharram at a very huge level. Muharram, because they believe in the teachings of Hussain. They believe in the teaching of Hussain, who was killed in the battle of Karbala. Hussain was killed in the battle of Karbala. Where is Karbala located? Karbala is located in Iraq, right? So they are the followers of Hussain, and Hussain was killed in Karbala, right? Clear? Apart from this, there are four important schools in Muslims here. Four schools of Muslim law. Write it down. And one thing more. Shia. Iran is a Shia country. You should know this. Iran is a Shia country and Saudi Arabia is a Sunni country. This is also another dimension and recently connected with international affairs. Recently, there is a agreement happened between Saudi Arabia and Iran with the mediation of China. And earlier, these two countries were fighting like dogs and cats. They have a relationship of dog and cat among each other. But now, due to the intervention of China, now China has mediated between the to create a kind of understanding between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Saudi Arabia is the country which follows Sunni. They are Sunni. Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, all these countries are Sunni. Majority of the Muslim countries in the world are Sunni, and there is very less population of Shia. Iran is a Shia country. So religiously they used to fight with each other, right? So this is another important thing that you need to understand. I'm connecting it with international relations also, right? And Pakistan is also a Sunni country. Pakistan is also a Sunni country, right? Apart from this, there are four major schools of Muslim law. Write it down. Four major schools of Muslim law. Four major school of Muslim law. Write it down. Four major schools of Muslim law. Number one, majority of Indian Sunnis. Write it down. Number one, majority of Indian Sunnis follow the Hanafi school. Which is school? Hanafi school. Number one is Hanafi. Hanafi school. Majority of Indian Muslims follow Hanafi school. And then if you go deep down the south, especially in Kerala there is a presence of Mopala Muslims. Mopala Muslims. You heard about that Mopala rebellion in your, you must have studied that Mopala rebellion in your modern history. Mopala Muslims and this Lakshadweep Muslims. And Lakshadweep Muslims, they are the followers of Shafi. They are the followers of Shafi school of Muslim law. Write it down. They are the followers of Shafi school. This Mopla Muslims and Lakshadweep Muslims. They are the followers of Shafi, Shafilaw. Shafi law. Shafi Muslim school of law. Right? The third is Maliki school. The third school is Maliki school. Write it down. Maliki, where I write it down? Maliki. Maliki. And who are the followers of Maliki school of law? The Gujarati Muslims. Gujarati Muslims are the followers of Maliki Muslim school of law. Clear? Right. The fourth one is Hanbali school. Hanbali. Hanbali school. This school in India nobody follows. Hanbali school. Hanbali school of Muslim law. Right? So if I summarize it, so I can summarize that Indian Muslims are broadly divided into two groups, Sunni and Shia. Apart from this, they are having four schools of Muslim law. Number one, जल्दी से बताओ, Hanafi school of law. Third is Shafi. Second Shafi. Third is Maliki. And fourth is Hanbala school of Muslim law. Right? Clear? Hanbali Muslim School of Law. This is important. You can get question on this in your PT examination. They may ask you, right? Apart from this, recently a term was used called Pasanda Muslims. Who are these Pasanda Muslims? Pasanda Muslims are those caste in the Muslims who are involved in the low jobs. They are involved in the low jobs such as cleaning, cobbler, right? So they are known as Pasanda Muslims. Write it down, Pasanda Muslims. Right? Write it down. Clear? Is that concept clear? Pasmanda Muslims. Write it down. Write a few lines on this here so that you will not forget. Pasmanda Muslims. Write it down. Pasmanda. Pasmanda Muslims. Write it down. Pasmanda Muslims are those sections in the Muslim community in India. Pasmanda Muslims are those sections in Indian Muslim community who are deprived and downtrodden. Underline this word, who are deprived and downtrodden. And our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has requested leaders and party workers to reach out not only to the weaker sections in Hindu society but also to the deprived and downtrodden sections among minorities. And when I'm talking of deprived and downtrodden sections of Muslim community, they are known as Pasmanda Muslims. Right? They are known as Pasmanda Muslims. ठीक है? And now I am bringing one more classification of Indian Muslims, which are particular only in India. Write it down. Muslims in India are broadly classified into Muslims in India are broadly classified into three social groupings. One is Ashraf. Where should I write? Here. Ashraf. Ashraf. Indian Muslims are broadly categorized into three social groupings. One is called Ashraf. Ashraf is the topmost. They are considered as noble. They are considered as noble or honorable ones. They are the upper caste. You can say they are the upper caste of Indian Muslim, honorable ones. Ashraf. The second is, write it down, Azlaf. The second is Azlaf. What is the spelling of Azlaf? A-J-L-A-F. Azlaf. They are the backward Muslims. They are the backward Muslims. So you can say they are the OBCs of Muslim community. Azlaf. Right? Now move on to the next one. The last is Arzal. The last is Arzal. A-R-Z-A-L. Arzal. Arzal are the Dalit Muslims. Arzal are the Dalit Muslims. There is three categories. Number one, Ashraf. Number two, Azlaf. Number third are the Dalit Muslims. You can say they are the scheduled caste SC, STs of Muslims. most backward, deprived and downtrodden. So therefore, this is another classification that you need to understand, because this particular word was used by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Therefore, there is a high probability that the UPSC may form a question on this particular topic, or you may ask they may ask you this question in your prelims examination also. This is how we connect current affair with your static part, because lot of students ask us this question, sir, and very lot of faculties used to say do interlinking, connect current affair with your static part, but nobody teaches how. So this is how you need to connect current with your class notes. So today I have shown you the example how we are connecting the news in the newspapers, in the media, in your class notes. That word pasmanda, tonight this much is clear to you. Okay, done. And this ashrafs are the traditional dominating group in the Muslims. Okay, they trace their lineage from the ruling class of India, upper caste Hindus like Rajputs, right, or Pathans, and Aslaf and Arzal. This Aslaf and Arzal. They, when they combine together, I write it down here. Aslaf plus Arzal, we call them Pasmanda Muslims. इसको लिखो, Pasmanda Muslims. They are known as Pasmanda Muslims. Right? Done. No. Pasmanda is a Krishna. Please make it this concept very clear. Aslaf plus Arzal. Just look at here. Aslaf plus Arzal. Here. Aslaf plus Arzal collectively are known as Pasmanda Muslim. Right? So don't commit this mistake tomorrow. This thing can be asked in your prelims question also. Right? Done. I think this is enough on the part of Muslims. I think you have developed a decent understanding about them. Done. And you can also connect this, because recently there is a debate in the society. People are filing PILs in the Supreme Court that Dalit Muslims and Dalit Christians should also be considered for the reservation. So you can also develop, that is the reason I have given this understanding to you. And UPSC, the most important is where to stop. ऐसा नहीं हम कि अंदर घुस जाएंगे बहुत ज्यादा, we will study in depth. That is none of our business. That is the reason UPSC Civil Services, jack of all trades, master of none. We should know the concept, but not in very much depth. I think this is enough. This is enough for the Muslims. Now move on to the next one. Apart from this classification, there are orders also. There are orders also in the Muslims. There are approximately 14 orders. 14 orders in Muslim. This is also important, and this is mentioned in your NCRTs also. 14 orders are present in Muslims. Number 1, write it down, the major one. Chishti order, you know, Chishti order. Write it down, Chishti order, Chisti, Chishti order. Then you have Surhavardi order. Surhavardi order. Third, you can write it down. Written. Then you have Shatari order. Shatari, Shatari, Shatari order. Fourth, you have Qadri order. Qadri order. These are the major orders. Qadri order. And there is one more which is given in your medieval NCRT also, that is Naqshbandi. There is another is Naqshbandi order. Naqshbandi order, right? Write it down. Clear? This is the complete Chishti order, Sohrawardi order, Shatari order, Qadri order, Naqshbandi. So these are the major orders present in Indian Muslim society in India, apart from the classification that we have seen, Ashraf, Azlaf and Azal. Before that, Shia, Sunni. Clear? Now, I think this is enough on the Muslims. Now, let us move on towards Christians here. Clear? All of you have written? Say yes or no. Then I will move forward. Now, I guess that the dictation part is this issue is clear. Now, you are not seeing any problem in the on the part of dictation. Am I right or wrong? Let me sit for 2 minutes. You can Chishti order, Sohrawardi order, Shatari order, Qadri order, and Naqshbandi, right? Clear? Please reply me. I'm waiting for your answer, guys. Then I will move forward. Then I will move on. You are done with this? This concept is clear to you? That's lovely. That's lovely. Okay. Now let us come to एक और मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ, which is in the news, which you should know. Nowadays, you are seeing that lot of people are talking about the Islamic terrorism. First of all, you cannot connect any religion with terrorism. It is not the religion which creates terrorism, but it is the fundamentalist, fanatic people who create terrorism, who have very limited bird view of, you can say, limited mindset to understand religion. There is a one more which you should know, Wahhabism. Wahhabism, Wahhabism and Salafism. These are the two orthodox, very orthodox sect among Muslims, and the proponent of Wahhabism in the world, the proponent of Wahhabism ideology is Saudi Arabia. This is also important thing which you can use in your international relations also. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the father of this Wahhabism ideology, and Wahhabism is a very orthodox ideology. They don't even believe in the, you know, that the kind of mazar system that we are having in India. They are deadly against it, and they used to say that destroy the mazars. They even destroy the mazar of tomb. They have even destroyed the tomb of Prophet Muhammad and his wife in Saudi Arabia. They are so deadly. They are very orthodox people. So this Wahhabism and Salafism, these two versions of Orthodox Islam, is responsible of creating fundamentalism in Islam, and this is the ideology which majority of the Muslim terrorist organizations used to follow and impose that on the normal people. Right? Clear? Done? Can I move forward? Done. Let us move on to the Indian Christians here. Towards Indian Christians. Now, Indian Christians are basically divided into two categories. One is known as Roman Catholics. Roman Catholics. One is Roman Catholics. Another is called Protestant. Write it down. Indian Christians are broadly classified into two groups. One is called Roman Catholics. Another is called Protestants. Done? And then there are a lot of many denominational churches also. Then apart from this, there are so many denominational churches also. There is so many denominational churches also, right? Done. Now, here is a problem. Now, Roman Catholics considered those people who are considered themselves as a pure Christians. They call themselves a pure Christians and considered themselves superior of higher order, right? And then there are Protestants. Protestants are those people who you know about, you must have read in your history textbook that Protestants are that group of Christianity which rebel against Catholics orthodoxy. Now, you see, there is a saying in English, it is your company which determines your character, right? The company makes a very important role. Now, if you look at all these religions called Christianity, Muslim, these religions were born outside India. Christianity born in Rome and then Islam born in Arab. But when they came to India, they intermingled with the Indian culture, right? Therefore, there is a you know that there is a term called acculturation. I'll explain you. I'm right now. I'm giving you a basic reference. I think I've discussed this with you or not. Assimilation, acculturation, and separatism. Did I discuss this with you or not? Tell me quickly. If not, then I will discuss it. It is a two-way traffic. We get good things from them also. They also get good things from. With good things, bad things also come. Now, this particular rigid caste system, which is a cancer of Indian society, has also transmitted to this new religions called Christianity and Muslims. As we have discussed, the idea of Pasmanda Muslims, which are the deprived and downtrodden Muslims in Indian Muslim community. The same, there are a lot of, when lot of atrocities happened on the lower caste Hindus, to escape from that atrocities, to escape from that stratification, inhumanity, they adopted Christianity. But once they adopted Christianity, they were of this opinion, now their all pains will go away. But that is not true. After converting to Christianity, they were considered as lower Christians. You will be surprised to know that there are different churches for the people who converted to Christianity. And so-called Roman Catholics don't allow them to mingle with them. And there is no relationship between roti or beti. Because you see, if you want to make any society equivalent, you have to develop a relation of roti or, write it down, roti or beti in Hindi. So there is no relationship of roti or beti among Protestant, and especially among the Christians who converted from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe towards Christianity. They considered these Christians as a inferior quality. Even some even don't consider them Christian also. So this is the problem of mindset in India, bhaiya. This is the problem of mindset in India. And these people are subject to same kind of, maybe in lesser term, same kind of deprivation, same kind of stratification which they were facing in a much more horrible manner in Hinduism. So therefore, the scheduled caste or scheduled tribes who converted to Christianity, they are known as Dalit Christians. Another category has emerged, Dalit Christians. And that is the reason in contemporary time there is a issue going on that Dalit Christians and Dalit Muslims should also be entitled to the reservation policy. Clear? Now this point is clear. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Done? Or we will move forward. Sir, I am not able to see your comments. Your comments are not coming here. What is this? I'm not able to see your comments. Please give me reply. Because if I'm not, I don't see your Response is I'm in a dark. Okay. Okay. Nimai is asking me a question. First of all, you tell me this concept is clear of so much categorization inside the Christianity. Clear. Wonderful. You see, Nimai has asked me a question that says, please discuss Shuddhi movement. Shuddhi. Basically, it is a part of your history. I think in your modern history, you can better discuss it, but you have asked me this question. Therefore, it becomes important for me to discuss this. You see, history, what is history here? History is nothing, it is a story with messages. What is the purpose of studying history? The purpose of studying history is that we can learn from our past, we can understand, and took lessons from it. And history is an eye opener for us that these are the mistakes we have done in the past, we don't need to repeat it. The Shuddhi movement is initiated by Swami Dyanand Saraswati. It is initiated by Swami Dyanand Saraswati. And this Shuddhi movement has created a lot of communal problem during during British India. Because in Shuddhi movement, they were asking all the converts, especially the lower caste who converted to Muslim or Christianity for the better future, to come back to mainstream Hindu society. They will do some religious, activity for their purification, and they will become Hindus again. So therefore, it has created a lot of problem. That is the concept of Shuddhi movement, because when there were rumors that Pakistan is going to come out, so every community was struggling to increase its numbers. Because as I've already said you, democracy is nothing but a burden of numbers, as it is stated by Pratap Bhanu Mehta, who often writes articles in Indian Express and one of the political thinkers of India. So he said that democracy is nothing but burden of numbers. So any community which is having larger number is bound to have larger share of welfare, is bound to have larger number of legislatures in the policy making. Therefore, to increase the number of Muslims and to increase the number of Hindu population and to decrease the number of Muslim population, this initiative was started by Swami Dyanand Saraswati in his personal capacity. And this Shuddhi movement was responsible for a lot of communal tension during the undivided Punjab in India. Right, Nimai? This much is clear? Okay? Okay, done. So this is about, now come to the Muslims part. So Muslims we have discussed, Christians we have discussed. Now let us discuss Sikhs. Is the story same with the Sikhs or it is different? Sikh. First of all, tell me what is the meaning of Sikh. And you are not allowed to access any Google, any of the technical gadget that you are having with you. I want you to be just yourself and me in the classroom, and one your pen and your notebook. Tell me what is the difference, what is the meaning of Sikh? Whom you called Sikh? Tell me quickly. I am waiting for a reply, because I want to make my class like a normal class as we used to teach in our offline mode, where we are having a direct question answer session with our students. Because the moment you reply to me, I can develop an understanding whether my students are able to grasp the idea or not. If not, I will explain it again. If yes, only then I will move forward. So please tell me, what do you understand by a term Sikh? What is a Sikh? Who is a Sikh? Tell me. I am waiting. I am waiting for your reply, guys. Please. Who will give me the answer? Anyone in our group? Anyone who is a Sikh? कोई बंदा आएगा? It is Bishpjit who has come out first. Bish sacrifices. The meaning of Sikh is student. Sikh का मतलब क्या होता है? Student. शिष्य. शिष्य. This is the meaning of Sikh. Sikh means student. Student. What is the meaning of Sikh? Student. Who is a Shishya. The verbatim meaning of Sikh is Shishya. Right? How Sikhism evolved in India, you will study more in your modern history. I am giving you a reference, I am giving a basic understanding. Sikhism is a kind of revolt from Hinduism. Sikhism is a revolt. It is a revolt against the orthodox Hindu religion. Against Hindu religion, which became very orthodox, conservative, inhuman, right? It is a reactionary reaction. It is a revolt reaction from Hinduism. And Sikhism is basically a fusion between Islam and Hindu. It is called a fusion between Islam and Hindu. Now, let me explain you. Have you ever seen a Sardarni, a woman who belongs to Sikh religion, and look at the Muslim women also? If you look at them, you won't be able to differentiate much. Muslim women are not using bindi. Sikh women are also not using any bindi. Right? You can look at them and you can say both are similar looking. You cannot differentiate. But how Muslim women are doing that, they are having the veil practice, that is burqa, hijab. But in Sikhs, there is no parda system. Parda was a practice in Hindu religion. But in Sikhism, there is no parda. Women never do parda. For sake of giving respect to the elders, they put a chunni on the head. Number one. Number two, you just look at these things across your society actually. There is no difference of name between boy and a girl. Kulvinder Singh is the name of a boy. Kulvinder Kaur is the name of a girl. Why? Because you see, our actions are driven by our ideology, right? Because Sikh religion understood the kind of treatment were given to the women in Hindu religion and in the Muslim religions. Therefore, to bring gender equality, boy is called Singh, women is called, girl is called Kaur. Kulvinder Kaur, Kulvinder Singh, no differentiation. If you go to any Sardarji's house or Sikh ghar, you will say they will call women daughter, Puttar ithe aa jara, Puttar pani leke aa jara. They call their daughter Puttar, pani leke aate. Look at the way they are speaking. You can see the difference. Clear? Then they have a concept called langar. Langar was a practice started by Guru Nanak and vehemently practiced by Guru Arjan. Later on, it became a part and parcel of the Sikhism. Langar. What is the concept of langar? In Hindu religion, a Brahman will not sit with a Dalit. Right? Interdining is not taking place in the Hindu religion. Do you agree with me? To challenge to that concept of purity and pollution, in Sikhism, you are having a concept of langar, where whether you are a Raja or a Rank, whether you are a king or a or a person who has nothing, both of you sit together and have food. So that this practice of langar has given a big jolt to the concept of casteism in especially North India. Langar you can see. Now there is one more concept of Sanjha Chula. Concept of Sanjha Chula. What is Sanjha Chula? What is the concept of Sanjha Chula? The concept of Sanjha Chula implies that if you go to the villages in Punjab, and I'm not talking of the Punjab that you are seeing in today's independent India, very small Punjab. I'm talking of a larger, big Punjab, right? Punjab is a province in Pakistan also, remember? And the capital of Punjab province in Pakistan is known as Lahore. And there is a very famous saying in Punjabi, जिन्ने लाहौर नहीं वेख्या वे जमिया ही नहीं. Means who has not seen the Lahore, he is not born. जिन्ने लाहौर नहीं वेख्या वे जमिया ही नहीं. That is the very famous, saying in Punjabi. I'm talking of that Punjab. Inter-dining is there. In Gurdwaras, you can go at any given point of time. Gurdwaras are open 24/7. Nobody will stop you. 24/7, you can see that chanting of God, hymns in praise of God is being sung by the people. Gurdwaras are open for 24/7, right? Then Sanjha Chula I was talking about. Sanjha Chula is a kind of practice that in the villages there is used to be a one in tandoor where all the women of different caste and different community used to come together with their flour, that is atta, and they used to make rotis for their families. That is a concept of Sanjha Chula. So I have given you an idea of Sanjha Chula, Langar, Gurdwara. In Gurdwara, nobody can discriminate on the basis of caste or higher order or lower order. That is why we say that Sikh is a religion which is based on egalitarian principles. It is a religion which gives gender equality, right? It is a religion which is giving a direct challenge to the caste system, right? Now, there is a saying in English, there is a difference between what is preached and what is practiced. Vishwajita, I am coming to your question, right? There is a difference between what is preached and what is practiced. So, this is the idea, this is the foundation, this is our principles on which the Sikh religion is built. But is this principles are really applicable on the ground? Question is this. What is happening? What is the ground reality? Now coming to ground reality. ये तो सर बहुत अच्छी बातें हो गई. For example, one of our student Vishwajit had asked a question, sir. You are saying that in Sikh religion there is a gender equality. Girls are called पुत्तर इत्थे आ जरा. There is no difference between boy and girl. कोई फर्क ही नहीं आएगा मुंडे दे कुड़ी दे विच. And to see sir saying that they are talking gender equality, but in reality Punjab is having one of the worst sex ratio in India. Very good question, Vishwajit. I really appreciate. Punjab and Haryana. Haryana was the part earlier. Haryana earlier was a part of Punjab only. What is this? Is this not represents a kind of paradox to us? It is a kind of paradox. How? Because what is being taught and what is being practiced, there is a difference between this. These are the ideals of Sikh religion. But in practice, if you look at the ground reality, things are not so good. Things are not so rosy. The world is different at the ground. In Punjab, which is having the largest population of scheduled caste community in terms of percentage, every third person in Punjab is a scheduled caste. You know that? But if you look at the caste system in Punjab, it is very rigid, although it is lesser rigid in comparison to the presence of caste systems in other states of India. For example, whether it's West Bengal, your Bihar or UP, like this, the people coming from the scheduled caste community are much more empowered, well off in Punjab in comparison to other states. And there is less caste atrocities taking place in Punjab in comparison to all those other states in India. Recently, you have seen there was a one news in the newspaper in Rajasthan, that is a place called Jalore, in which a 7-year-old boy was beaten to death because that boy is supposed to be from a Dalit community, and when he was thirsty, he touched the water pot in his school, and he was beaten blue and black by one of the upper caste teachers. This is a reality. Still, if you go to the villages in other states, there is a rampant practice of untouchability. People are practicing untouchability. Correct me if I am wrong, you are also coming from different corners of West Bengal. That untouchability is still the part and parcel of our everyday life. Correct me if I am wrong, guys. The same thing is applicable in Punjab also. From the outside view, it looks like a egalitarian society, but the moment you go inside the society and start dissecting the society, then ruptures will start coming. And you will easily see the demarcations. For example, if you hear any Punjabi song, you will find the name Jat, Jat da Nawab ni, Jat da Jawab ni, Jat di Gadi. This particular word. So there is a casteism present in Sikh community also. And one more incident I want to share. When Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, out of frustration, hopelessness, out of frustration and hopelessness in Hindu society, because when he started his satyagraha for the temple entry in Nasik, and the entire Brahmin community, the upper caste community, stood against him, and he was denied entry into the Nasik temple. He got completely frustrated, hopeless. There cannot be change of heart among the upper caste Hindus related to the empowerment towards Dalit communities. He got disillusioned with this entire Hindu religion. And you will be surprised to know he was thinking, deliberately he was thinking to adopt Sikh religion and to study Sikh religion, because studying something is different. The ideas may be very looking good, but what is happening at the ground? Therefore, he specially sent one of his very close associates and his son to Punjab, go there and study the Sikhism. What is happening with those people who are coming from the lower caste in Sikhism? Are they treated with equality? Are they having the enough space for their development? Is the ecosystem provided by Sikh religion is conducive for the growth and development of the Dalit Christians, depressed classes, for the Dalit people, if they adopt this religion? And as a result, his son and one of his close associates went to the Punjab to study the caste system in Sikhism, and when they came back, they say such situation is very bad. In Punjab, they are having separate gurdwaras for the lower caste and for the higher caste. A lower caste Sikh cannot marry the higher caste girl, and if they marry, they will chop off the head. There is a rampant casteism present in Sikhism. And he said that there is a concept of Majhabi Sikh, which I want. Write it down. I will dictate. You can write it down. Let me have a water. Write it down. Sikhism is a religion. Sikhism is a religion which focuses on egalitarianism. Sikhism is a religion which focuses on egalitarianism, but but in reality there is a presence of but in reality there is a presence of there is a presence of caste system in Sikh religion. For example, the lower castes which converted to Sikhism are known as Mazhabi Sikhs. The lower caste, the lower caste which converted to Sikhism are known as Mazhabi Sikh. Mazhabi, please underline this word, Mazhabi Sikhs is known as Mazhabi Sikh, and they live in separate places in villages. They live in separate hamlets. That therefore, this cancer of caste system was not confined only to Hinduism. It is a real cancer in Indian society. This cancer has spread to Muslims also. This cancer has spread to Christianity also. And this cancer has spread to Sikhism also. As one of the students has asked me a question, said Dr. Ambedkar even left Buddhism. No, no, you see, he never left Buddhism, but he developed his own idea of Buddhism, which is known as Navyana. इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Navyana. You have asked it, that's what I am telling you. Where I should write it down? I should write down Navyana. Navyana. It is a kind of Buddhism propagated by Ambedkar, which believes in equality. Clear? I think who is the student who asked this question to me? Now this point is clear because somebody has asked me. Dr. Ambedkar's Buddhism is known as Navyana Buddhism, which is based on equality, egalitarian values. Right? Clear? Now let us move on to, now we have discussed this. Now come to Buddhism. This is clear to all of you? Please tell me quickly. This is clear? I'm waiting for a reply, then I'll move forward. I'm waiting for a reply, guys. Please tell me quickly. Clear? Now I'm getting very good. Shabash, shabash. I'm really impressed. Anirban is making a very good observation. And I'm quoting his question. What is the factor that all the religion which developed outside India and when they came to India got infected? Very good. And one student, Subhashri. Clear, seriously, I've read article in Hindu about Neo Buddhism where there is a very good shabash. I'm impressed. This is called UPSC aspirants. I'm very happy. You can write up one note on Buddhism also. Now done. Now I'm moving to Buddhism. Okay, write it down. Now let us move towards Buddhism. Now let us move towards Buddhism. Now, Buddhism in India. Buddhism in India. Now, Buddhism in India is also having a structure. Buddhism in India has a two-tier structure. One is called Hinayana. Hinayana. Write it down. Hinayana, and another is Mahayana. You will study about this in detail in your history classes also. And if you go to south, there's a certain section of people, sorry, in Dalits, there is a certain section of people who are the followers of Navyana. Navyana. Write it down few lines. Today we will finish this topic and we'll move to the next one. Buddhism in Indian society. Buddhism in Indian society is divided into two groups. Mahayana and Hinayana. They are based on doctrinal differences. इसको underline करो. They are based on doctrinal differences, not on the basis of gradation in society. Not on the basis of gradation in society. Not on the basis of gradation in society. Clear? Right? Now write down a few. एक ये लिखवा रहा हूँ तुमको मैं. Navyana. What is the meaning of Navyana? Navyana means new vehicle. Navyan का मतलब क्या है? New vehicle. Navyana implies new vehicle. Navyana Buddhism is basically the modern interpretation of Buddhism, which is founded and developed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, It is also known as Neo-Buddhism. इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Neo-Buddhism. It is also known as Neo-Buddhism or Ambedkarite Buddhism. Ambedkarite Buddhism. Clear? The Buddha and his Dhamma. लिखो the Buddha and his Dham. I write it down here. The Buddha. It is the 11th. It is the book The Buddha and his Dham. The Buddha and his Dham is considered as the holy book. The Buddha and his Dham is considered a holy book of Navyana Buddhism, and the 90% of Navyana Buddhist lives in Maharashtra. Clear? And it is the ये तुम्हारी एक्स्ट्रा जानकारी के लिए है कि ये जो बुक थी द बुद्धा एंड हिज धम्मा, इस बुक को डॉक्टर अंबेडकर took 11 years to write. This is the only book which consumed his maximum energy and maximum time. Right? Done? So this is about Navyana. There is one more branch of Muslims in India which is known as Theravada. One is Hinayana, Mahayana, and there is another is Theravada. If you come to Delhi, there is a place called Birla Mandir in New Delhi, and adjoining Birla Mandir, there is a famous Buddhist temple in Delhi, where even Dr. B.R. Ambedkar used to come and pray. And that particular temple, at present, you can see lot of Sri Lankan Buddhist monks worshipping there and coming there, and the kind of the school which runs that is they belong to Theravada. They belong to Theravada branch of Buddhism, which is considered as the oldest branch of Buddhism. Oldest branch of Buddhism, and they follow the teachings of Buddhism, and they don't believe in the worshipping of idols of Buddha. Right? I think this is enough. And you can also write that Theravada Buddhism is the older. Theravada Buddhism is the older of the two major Buddhist traditions, bracket में लिखो Mahayana and Hinayana. और Theravada का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of Theravada? The meaning of Theravada means way of the elders. Way of the elders. Clear? So this is important, which you should know. Right? Now coming to another important religion, that is Jainism. Coming to another important religion called Jainism. Jainism in India is also having two branches, Digambars and Shvetambars. Digambars and Shvetambars. Write it down. First of all, Jainism is present in both places, North India also and South India also. Write it down. The Jainism has a presence both in Northern India and South India, although they have a although they are having less numerical strength. The two main divisions of Jainism are Digambar and Shwetambar. Digambars are considered as unclothed. Digambar कौन होते हैं? Unclothed. They don't prefer to wearing unclothed. And Shvetambars are the branch of Jainism which wears white robes, which wear white, and they are unclothed. एक और important point लिखो, Jain community in India is having an open class system. Please underline this word. Jain community in India is having an open class system. Underline this word. Jain community in India, Jain religion in India is having an open class system, which implies that an individual can move from one class to another according to their aptitude. An individual can move from one class to another according to their aptitude, and there is no untouchability practice in Jainism, and interdining is allowed. Clear? Anyone is having any doubt? Please let me know. Let me see your comments. Okay. Done. Dalai Lama is also Buddhist, but he is coming from another branch of Muslims. That is Tibetan Buddhism. Write it down. One of the student has asked this question to me. That is, Shah Dalai Lama is from which Buddhist community? It is from the उसको हम बोलते हैं he is from the Gelug, G-E-L-U, Gelug or yellow hat. It is that branch of Buddhism. Gelug or yellow hat school of Tibetan Buddhism. Yeah, right. Digambars are still stay unclothed. Absolutely right, Subrata. Done? I think I have answered your query. Clear? Now let us move to another concept. So today we have developed understanding about religious diversity in India, and we have observed that religion diversity is not only among Muslims or Hindus or Christians or Jews or Parsis, but this idea of diversity is present even in Hindu religion also, even in Muslims also, even in Christians also, in Buddhist also, in Jains also. Therefore, diversity is the DNA of Indian society. Can I say that? Diversity is a DNA of Indian society. We are diverse. There is a diversity among our own religion also. The way we worship the God, the way we connect with the God, they are also different. Right? And the same is applicable to on Indian Muslims or Indian Christians or Indian Buddhists. The moment any religion comes to India, it adopts according to the Indian society. For example, if you eat the original Chinese food, I can challenge you, you will never appreciate Chinese food. But India has created a fusion, Indian fusion in the Chinese food. If you give the Indian chow mein to any Chinese person, he will not eat it. He will vomit. They said, we don't put so many of spices, so many of sauces, so many of onion, garlic, and all that. All these different kinds of vegetables in the Chinese noodles. We don't do this. But India has created its own Chinese food. They have created a fusion, change according to Indian taste. And majority of Indians like to have a spicy food. So therefore they have, otherwise Chinese food is very less spicy. You see, Nimai is asking me a question. You see, first of all, Naga sadhus are different and Digambar saints are different. The moment you look at the Naga sadhu, you can immediately say they used to apply ashes from the this crematorium, from the ashes of the dead people. They used to apply that on their body. But on the other hand, Digambars used to live simply without clothes. That's it. The moment you look at them, you can easily say that there is a difference between Naga sadhu and Jain Digambar monk. Apart from this, when they become there, when a Jain person take a sannyas, the first thing they used to do, they need to pluck their hairs from their own hands. They pluck their hairs from their own hand. They become, after that they become bald. It's a very important ceremony that needs to be taken before becoming the Digambar Jain monk. But on the other side, our Naga sadhus or Rishi Munis used to have a long hairs where they used to tie up their end like a juda. Okay, so there is a lot of difference between the Naga sadhu and the Digambar saint, Digambar Jain saints. Naga sadhus focuses on tantric kriyas. They focuses on tantric kriyas, but here they are not focusing on tantric kriyas. They are following the path shown by Lord Mahavira. Right? You will be surprised to know wherever they want to go, they used to go by walk, whatsoever be the place. For example, if there is a Digambar saint in Delhi and you are staying in Bombay, so they will come to a place by walk. They will not use any road transport. Seriously, you can ask your parents. You can ask anyone who is in the neighborhood of your home, right? Even eating garlic, onion is prohibited for them. They follow a strict vegetarian diet. We believe in chanting the name of God. We believe in kirtan. We believe in bhajan, right? This is the Hindu way of looking at the God. But if you look at the other religions, for example, Christianity, you will not see anybody chanting the name of Jesus. They go to the church, they pray, they read the Psalms, they read the Bible, they meet the Father, they will express their feelings to Father. Father will listen to them and provide them the right guidance. Clear? But all these things are not acceptable in different religions. Therefore, our religion plays a very central role in our development. Our food, our clothes, our marriage ceremony, other our things like life, death, marriage, everything is governed by religion. Therefore, religion is central to Indian society. And if you want to change Indian society, you have to bring changes in the religion. And that is the reason after our independence, we have brought Hindu Special Marriage Act. Clear? I think this is clear. Now, coming to the next one, I'll answer it. I'll answer it. One of the students is asking this question that, sir, is India a place of religious diversity? Is it okay to bring uniform civil code? That's a lovely question. That's a debatable question. How you are looking at the problem and how I am looking at the problem. Because I'm not having any biases inside me. I'm not having any prejudices against any caste or any person. So with the grace of God, at least I can say that I'm having an element of objectivity in my thoughts. And that is the reason India, the beauty of India lies in its diversity. And if you want to address any problem, there is no point in using a gun. gun can never solve the problem. The only solution is you need to sit and talk. That is the only solution. And as far as Uniform Civil Code is concerned, Uniform Civil Code will provide a, because you are preparing for UPSC examination, therefore it is important for you to understand Uniform Civil Code. In India, there are different, every law has its own benefits, own merits, own demerits. The same is applicable for Hindu religion also. In Hindu religion, marriage is considered as sacrosanct. It is a marriage between two souls. If you look at Hindu religion, there is no concept of separation. You show me a single book where it talks about there is no concept of separation. There is no concept of divorce. Once you are married for 7 janmas. इसलिए in Hindu religion we call शादी क्या है 7 जन्मों का साथ है. Do you agree with me? So there is no concept of separation of divorce in Hindu marriage. But if you go to Muslims, a Muslim marriage is considered as a contract. For example, when a marriage is solemnized by a Qazi, he asks this question to this girl that are you happy with this marriage? She will say yes. Only then marriage function will proceed further. And therefore, Muslim religion is giving this space to the women. She can also have a right to say no. Then marriage will not solemnize. A Qazi cannot go against the wish of a girl. If the girl says no, I am not interested in this marriage, Qazi cannot solemnize that marriage. Therefore, you need to understand all these diversities. Right? So, divorce is not such a thing in India. But we need Uniform Civil Code. The point is this, that there are a lot of atrocities committed against women, and that is where the concept of cultural intersectionality comes. Are you getting, Nimai? That women of being a Hindu, being a woman and being a woman coming from a Dalit society, she is subject to multiple times of violence and multiple time of hate and so on. Therefore, her discrimination increases 4 times. The moment, because by gender she is a woman, by caste she is scheduled caste. Right? There is an intersectionality of cultures taking place. You need to understand that. Now, as our Constitution of India, founding fathers were aware of this fact that India is a very diverse country and every culture is unique. You cannot bind the entire culture in one way. Clear? That is now my job is to bombard your mind with different perspectives. Now you have to take a call. Therefore, providing a uniform civil code will bring some level playing field if it is done in a right mindset. But if it's done with a political agenda, then it is going to backstand. Then it is going to create a lot of problems. Okay. Now let us move on to the next one. So many things we have discussed today. Now India is also having a regional diversity. Kashmir is totally different from West Bengal. West Bengal is totally different from Rajasthan. Rajasthan is entirely different from Kerala. The weather of Kerala, the geography of Kerala, the topography of Kerala is completely different from Punjab. Punjab is different from Delhi. Therefore, this is the idea of regional diversity. Right now, I take a break, and after 1 hour, you also go for a lunch, and we'll come back to the class and we'll complete this chapter. Okay? I hope you are enjoying the classes. You are feeling good, or simply bored हो रहे हो और सर में दर्द हो रहा है सर क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं बताओ जल्दी से ठीक है guys I'll meet you after the class. We will meet at 2 to 4. Okay? Thank you very much.